Sawadee Krap. Honorable Mr. Sopon Zarum, Chair of the Standing Committee on Transport, House of Representatives. Honorable Mr. Chamnong, Chair of the Asia Pacific Regional Network for Road Safety Legislators. Honorable members of the Standing Committee of Transport. Dear partners, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Thank you very much for inviting me to speak to you today. I think I can speak for everyone in the room today if I say that we are all very fond of children and that we would do anything to protect children, allow them to grow up and to enjoy a life of opportunities. Children are humanity's future. Yet, every single day in Thailand, about 15 children and young adults die in road traffic accidents, about 5,400 a year. These numbers are derived from Thailand's integrated road traffic deaths data system. And for the age group of 15 to 24-year-olds, road traffic injuries are even the leading cause of death. Fortunately, over the past decade, Thailand has taken concrete steps to reduce overall deaths and injuries due to road traffic crashes through legislation improvement and other measures. This includes legislation on drinking and driving and on seatbelt wearing to protect all occupants in cars. There have also been efforts to improve regulatory and administrative measures for enforcement and to develop speed management guidelines to be applied in provinces, to name but a few. WHO is pleased to continue supporting the Thai government to build on the foundations laid during the last 10 years to reduce deaths and injuries through technical support, data improvement, media engagement, and legislative strengthening. But with 5,400 children and youngsters dying on road traffic accidents every year, more work is needed. I'm pleased to see this dialogue today between members of parliament and youth discuss measures to improve the safety of children and youth and how to meaningfully engage with them on an ongoing basis. We know that children and youth can be kept safe on the roads by a number of measures. For example, reducing speeds and managing speeds around schools, transporting children in child restraints, making sure that children who are allowed to ride motorbikes wear safe helmets, ensuring that vehicles are safe, and setting drink driving countermeasures. These measures must be based on evidence, obviously, and they must also fit the country context and must be enforced. In 2021, WHO launched the Global Plan for the Decade of Action for Road Safety to serve as a roadmap for countries to achieve a 50% reduction in deaths by 2030. Members of Parliament obviously play a crucial role in achieving this, including putting in place laws, ensuring funding, empowering and holding government agencies to account for implementation, and advocating for a safe culture in your communities. So I'm delighted to see the Transport Committee taking the initiative to convene this multi-sectoral dialogue today and with youth at the forefront of the discussion. This year, Thailand made the use of child restraint systems mandatory by law. Although this is a great and commendable step forward that we, as WHO, fully support, not everyone seems happy with this new regulation for a variety of reasons. Yet, the science is clear. Child restraint systems, or child car seats as we often call them, are life-saving. Using appropriate and correctly fitted child restraints can lead to at least 60% fewer deaths among children, as well as reduced injuries. Seat belts are made to meet the needs of adults. Child seats are made to protect children. They hold the child in place when a car must suddenly stop or make an abrupt movement. Close to 100 countries have already such laws in place. My own children are now grown up, but when they were young, I would not even dream of putting them in a car without a car seat. As anyone who has worked in an emergency ward can tell you, once you have seen someone who went through the windscreen of a car at 100 kilometers an hour, you will always put on your seatbelt. You will always put your child in its own seat. Yet despite this new law, and despite some people opposing the existing law, we still must go further. As you know, the current law does not make the use of child constraints mandatory in cars for children aged 6 years and older, and therefore leaves older children dangerously exposed. Based on extensive studies, data and evidence, WHO and partners recommend that children should be transported in a child restraint up to at least 10 years of age and a height of 135 centimeters. It is best if they are transported in child restraints up to the age of 12. WHO Thailand recently published a policy brief describing the minimum legislative requirements for child restraint use. I would urge you all to consider further strengthening of this law so that more children are protected. I encourage you to refer to this brief that I just mentioned that is available in Thai language on our website for more information on the evidence and best practices for mandatory child restraint use. I would like to commend the Thai Parliament in its efforts to continually engage with multiple sectors, including with young people in the country, in finding solutions that can save the lives of children and youth. My team and I stand ready to support you in your tirelessly effort to make this happen. ขอบคุณครับ สวัสดีครับ